Hello and welcome to Feck TV Sports Show. Yet again this week we've one of the biggest names in Irish sport, but he's not only one of the biggest names in Irish sport, he's one of the biggest names in the English Premiership. We got none other than Shane Long. Shane, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. It's great to speak to you.
I thought you were about yourself there for a second.
I know. I'm starting to talk about other people instead of myself these days. It's really upsetting.
I've never seen you nervous before.
I am nervous. This is the only interview I've been nervous, you know that? I'm panicking.
Yeah.
So help me out.
Pressure's on.
Yeah. We're not going to really ask you, we're going to ask you questions really, Shane, that the fans want to ask people, you know, more general questions rather than the usual media questions you get asked. Because I think people want to find out the inside, what you can share with us.
Perfect.
But I'm going to start off with an easy one. Obviously, you're having a great season.
Yeah, really enjoying it. You know, we've lost 3 games in the bounce now, which is a bit of a sour note. But you know, we're still playing good football. It gets a bit lonely at times up there by yourself. You know, one-man striker, but the midfield like to pass the ball, and it makes it a lot easier for me.
It is a club with great tradition in West Brom, isn't it? You know, I think people don't realise it, maybe because in the 70s and 80s it was a massive club. It seems to be getting back to that stage now again. So
Yeah,
probably in Ireland people don't realise how big it is.
But I get told all the stories of Jeff Hassel and Cyril Regis, and you know, there's a lot of big players that wore the number 9 shirt. So I got made aware of that fairly early. So there's big pressure on my shoulders.
Talking about the number 9 shirt, Harry Redknapp said recently on Match of the Day, a lot of clubs looked at you and they were wondering whether to go for you and sign for you. He goes, Roy Hodgson had the balls to get you. You know, you really repaid his fate. It just shows what a good manager Roy Hodgson is. Do you feel you've proved a lot of people wrong, even the bigger clubs than West Brom, that could have got you?
I don't know. I was doing it at championship level, you know, but it was only for a season and a half really that I started every game and showing what I could do, you know. Up to that, I was coming off the bench and trying to make impacts in games. So I think, Roy took a big chance, you know. He seen something that he liked and gave me a chance, and you know, I'd be forever grateful for that. And he always went out of his way to try and play me. And you know, when you're playing every week, you know yourself, it makes it that much easier.
As a Premiership footballer, people go on about how much money you have and the cars and the lifestyle you live. Is it difficult to deal with the highs and lows? As in, you had highs against Chelsea at home, and then a couple of weeks later you lose to Stoke at home. How do you deal with all that? Yeah,
it is tough. You know, I'm one of them people as well that bring the feet home with me, and my girlfriend knows what to keep well away from me when I get home. That I just want to keep my head to myself. And you know, in the championship it was easier because you'd have a game again the Tuesday, so you'd have to get over fairly quickly. But you've got all week, and it's all over Sky Sports News. It's all over everything about you losing, so it's hard to get away from. But yeah, you got to move on. And you know, we've lost 3 in the bounce now, and everyone thinks that we're coming back into a relegation battle all of a sudden. And you know, we just got to keep our faith that we are good enough to be where we are, and we've proved that. So yeah, time to go out on Sunday against West Ham and show everybody else. Some players adjust better as they go up the levels. Do you find that you're one of those players? Do you find it easier in the Premiership than the Championship, or what would you say? What would be the way you look at it? It's definitely harder, you know. It's easier in a way because you're playing a lot of big teams, and you know you're going to have to perform, and you're well up for the game before it comes. And you know, some of the games in the Championship, it was December's night, freezing, like tiny little stands, and very hostile, you know. But every game in the Premiership is a big game. But at the same time, comes with that big players and better defenders, and you know, you're going to be fairly scrutinised if you don't do well on the pitch. So I just try and give my all every week, and hopefully I can add a goal or two with it.
Going on, looking at Ireland, Shane, you know, a lot of us, mostly Irish viewers watching this, people are pulling their hair out at the minute when they don't see you starting for the Irish squad. And is it frustrating for you when you're one of the top players, centre forwards in the Premiership at the minute, and you're not starting for the Republic of Ireland? Yeah,
but then you got to look at the options that the manager has. You know, he's Robbie Keane, who scored, I don't know, I've lost count of many goals. It's 56 or 57 goals for Ireland, which is ridiculous. And then you've Kevin Doyle, John Walters, Coxey, there's Andy Keogh. You have different options, and I know the manager's picking the best team that he thinks is going to win the game. So I've told him that I'm ready whenever he wants me, you know. It's a great honour, obviously, putting on that green shirt, and whenever I'm called upon, I'll give it my all.
Does he speak to you when he does leave you out? Does he give you a reason? Will he bring you into the office and talk to you?
Not really. You know, it's fairly apparent all week from the shape you do in training what the team is going to be. So at least it's not just before the game that I found out, and I have time to deal with it and make sure that I'm ready come the last 20, 30 minutes if he wants me.
I know when I was a player, I wouldn't be too happy. I used to hate the shape during the week. I'd be thinking I'd be cursing the manager the whole way home, But Kevin spoke yesterday, like he said the same as you, there's some great strikers around at the minute. But when you're on form, and Kevin said, like, I play in the Championship now, I'm not a Premiership, so I can't expect to start for Ireland. But when you're up there, top goal scorer in the Premier League, do you not think, why isn't he picking me? Because when you came on against Germany, I thought you looked really frustrated. You got booked, you kicked out of somebody. You looked like, you just were pissed off with the whole thing. Do you feel like that?
I'm just kind of a bad loser, and we were losing fairly heavily in that game. So, I lost my head a bit in that game. But no, it is frustrating at times sitting on the bench. But there's 20, 25 players all wanting to get 11 positions, and someone's going to be disappointed,
Because we're all like, I always go out to watch the games, go for a few drinks with the lads, and we watch the game, and literally everyone watching the game is like, why isn't Shane Long playing? And then because I know you, I think, God, it must be so frustrating for Shane, and everyone's cursing Trapattoni, and then I'm thinking it's a difficult situation for you. But generally, are you happy with the situation?
Yeah, I think it'd be wrong, it'd be disrespectful for me to say that I should be starting,
Yeah.
I'm good friends with the lads that are playing and the lads beside me on the bench, so we're all fighting for two places, and whoever gets them, to be fair, if I do start, the lads are right behind me, and I room with Kevin, and I think it's between one of us for one of the spots, and we've got the full backing of the other player, so there's no bitterness in there at all. It is frustrating, obviously you want to play, but when the time comes, I'll be ready.
My selection would be you and Kevin up front, and then you can play Robbie Keenan behind you. I don't know why no one ever tries it.
That's true, actually. You wouldn't be biased at all towards me and Kevin, though.
No, but I know it would be biased, but I do think, I just can't understand, because you've such a great partnership, you know each other inside out, but you rarely get to play together. Even at Reading, it was the same, wasn't it? Kind of Doyler was in, and then he was with Kitson, and then he went, and then you kind of came in and took his place. And
yeah, that was it. I remember we played that year we were in the Premiership. I think it was the second year we played 3 or 4 games together in a row up front because of injuries, and it was brilliant, And ever since that, then it's just been little bits and pieces. And the first time in a long time was against Oman, and I thought we done very well up front. But I think we do play well off each other. But you've got other options there as well. So we will help each other out. That's the thing. He likes to run channels and do a bit of work for the team as well. And I think it could be a good partnership.
I'm going to write to the FAI this week and tell him that,
You just tell him how to run the
they
team.
should just give me the job.
Play me centre back as well. I'll do a job in there.
A lot of people have been on about writing in asking us to ask you about Liam Brady, because he was your coach, and then all of a sudden he wasn't your coach, and then he's in the media, and he's always is backing up for Trapattoni. But was it a strange one that he left, or were you expecting it? Or because no one ever really kind of knew what was going on with him in the end.
Yeah, he came in. He done a lot of help. He done a lot of translation, and obviously he's been at Arsenal. I don't know how many years,
Yeah, because people watching the show, he runs the academy with Arsenal, doesn't he? So
yeah,
it's a big job. Anyway.
How he's been there, and he knows his football. So it's always nice to have a brain like that around the squad. And I think it was too much for him in the end. He was over in Arsenal back at Ireland, and didn't really have any time to himself. So he decided to hit it on the head. And I've actually seen him last weekend in the Arsenal game, and he's still the same as ever. Still a really nice fella. And
is he a nice bloke? Because I watched Dunphy and Giles obviously here, and Liam Brady, and they're arguing, and he does take a lot of stick off the two lads because he is always batting for you. But I often wonder, like, was Trapattoni just had him there just for a little while, or were they trying to push him out, or did he just want to go himself, that kind of way?
I don't know. I never really asked him about that, but I think he was more than welcome in the squad. The lads loved having him around, and got involved in a few card games and had the banter. And yeah, he was a lovely man, and I think he's got a big role at Arsenal, and it takes a lot out of you. So I'd say that could have had a lot of impact in his decision.
Talking about the Premier League, Shane, there's so much publicity about the minute, about the racism, about Rio Ferdinand getting hit by the coin at the weekend. Do you feel at the minute it just seems to be in-house fighting all over the place? It seems to be frustrating from the outside, with the reports that we get from the news and watching Sky Sports. Yeah,
it's terrible to see. You say the players are on the pitch trying to give it their all for the badge they're wearing, and you can see how tempers get high and things are said and everything. But when you start throwing coins and start running onto the pitch trying to get at players, they're doing their job at the end of the day, and just nice to be able to have that little bragging rights back when you score a goal.
It looks like it's gone back to the 80s. West Brom would be happy. There was the days back in the 80s, West Brom, all that kind of stuff.
That's it. It is a shame to see because, it's staying, it's a great game. That game at the weekend was great football, Man U, Man City, and that everyone's talking about this kind being thrown and people getting arrested. It's a shame, really.
Do you ever come across any racism towards you or anything like that, or would you say you never see it?
No, not really. No, I've been lucky enough. Obviously, been to a few hostile places in my time, but it's all been friendly banter, and where's your caravan, stuff like that, being shown at me, but nothing that you don't laugh off, and
just the Cyclone Mill.
Yeah. I think I was standing beside Stephen Hunt at the time. Didn't help.
We had a chat about Hunty's hair yesterday. Doyle was going to make him watch the show because he does look horrendous at the minute, doesn't he?
He's trying his best though. What he's got.
When you say hostiles ground, which is your favourite ground in the Premier League?
Favourite ground? I'm a Leeds fan, but I'm going to say Anfield. Just the singing and that before the game and how loud they are during the game and that, it's a tough place to go to.
All the boys in the office have just smiled here, Shane, because I was asked to ask you if you were given an extra 20 grand a week to give you the number 9 shirt, would you sign for Liverpool?
You know me, it's not funny with me at all. No, yeah, obviously you hear all the rumours going around, and it is nice to hear, but I think I'm a long way from a Liverpool side yet. I'm concentrating on playing for West Brom and scoring more goals.
You're not a long way from the Liverpool side. You're better than what they have now.
I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, there'll be a step up somewhere down the line, and we're.
Is that I asked Doyle that yesterday. He wants to stay at Wolves for the rest of his life. The way he was talking. Would you like to step up, like maybe play Champions League? Because that would be amazing. Champions League seems to be more an influence, or more players want to play in the Champions League than international football at the minute.
Yeah, obviously, just like you look at Celtic beating Barcelona and things like that in the Champions League. Everybody wants to be a part of that, but the way we're going at West Brom at the moment, we could be there ourselves next season.
That's very true, because there's not much difference between your side and Celtic's team. Really, you're probably stronger than Celtic. Well, you are stronger than Celtic.
That's it. We're fairly confident in ourselves the way we're playing. And I don't think we are where we are by a mistake. We're playing football against some good footballing teams and coming out on top. And I think we've had probably 45 minutes of football this season where we haven't been good, we haven't turned up, and we got punished for it. So, I think there could be a big season ahead of us, but the manager has us instilled to just concentrate on the next game. I know it sounds cliche, but it's working for us.
People ask me all the time about your wages, saying, "Oh, they get all this money, and then there's doctors saving lives and nurses." And I used to always get this old one thrown at me when I used to play football. But they asked me well, how can you justify the big wages that Premiership players get? And you hear reports of somewhere around 250,000 a week. What answer would you give to that?
I don't know. I think anyone that would be put in our position wouldn't be complaining. It's a lifestyle, and it is I think over the top. But it's a short career. You want to try and make as much money and as good a life for your family as you can, and that's the more I get paid for. Do you
think you deserve it for the intrusions in your lives? Because literally you can't go anywhere.
It's 24/7 job. You can't really let your hair down too much. And
are you aware of that all the time when you're in?
What you do off the pitch, what you eat, what you drink, and different things like that is going to affect you on the pitch. And I found out that the hard way a lot over the start of my career. So it is. It's obviously a great privilege to be playing football for a living, but there is a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes that no one sees about.
When I was playing, Shane, we would go out on a Wednesday and a Saturday night, all the team. It was just I think the old school mentality. Do you think that's really gone from English football, or would you still now and again go for a couple of beers with your teammates, or does that not happen?
Yeah, maybe after a good win or something, we go down to the pub and have a few beers, but that's normally just it. I take about 10 different types of caffeine before a game, so after a game I'm wide awake. So I do like a pint or two just to settle me down, and I think it's a good thing to enjoy winning. It's when you lose and you don't want that sorrowful beer at home. You want to celebrate a beer.
We hear a lot about the caffeine tablets. Actually, when England played against Poland and the game was postponed, is it a thing that a lot of players do? I know when I was at Tranmere, a lot of the lads used to do it, but it seems that I didn't realise that the Premiership players would actually be taking the caffeine tablets just to get that bit of extra energy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's something I do. A lot of the players don't do it, you know. I have a shot of Red Bull and a chewing gum, caffeine chewing gum thing that I chew on during the game. It's a habit as well. It helps me, you know. It keeps me buzzing and keeps my mind ticking over, you know, and make sure that I'm on top form. And I'm a bit of a man of routine, so it's working for me at the moment. So I don't want to change it.
Do you think even since you've joined Reading that the lifestyle has changed?
Not really. No, I'm kept fairly grounded now. With my mum and my brother living over in Birmingham, and also my girlfriend and little daughter. And you know, you don't have time to get ahead of yourself. And as soon as you say something a little bit big time, I'm shot straight down. So yeah, I'm lucky that I have family around me to keep me grounded and keep me reminded of where I come from.
Is there anyone in the Premier League or in the Championship, a player that you don't like, that you think, oh, I'm fucking going to get you next week? Or you're looking forward to getting him and think, oh, I'm going to get him this time?
I can't be answering them entire questions. There's a few names out there that I always like to leave a little stud in every now and again. But I know that once I try and get them, I'll take my focus off the game. But yeah, a little stray elbow here every now and again wouldn't hurt.
People don't realise how tough you are, do they, Shed?
I was born on a farm in Tipperary, so I suppose that I've got a bit of good blood in me at least.
And what about the hurling? Are you going to come back and play when you finish up the soccer?
Yeah, when I go back in the summers, I train with my local team, currently Glengool, and I didn't get back last summer, obviously, because of the Euros, but it's nice to feed the hungry, you know, and get the hurley out, and it keeps fit as well, and the lads know not to break too many hurleys off me, you know. I
won a Junior B championship last summer in hurling here.
You were a hurler. I bet you had a big micro helmet, and you were just...
Stop! I shin guards the whole lot. Socks up to over the knees.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't see any legs, shorts down, socks up.
Quick one for you, Shed. What about Celtic? Right, they spend so little money comparing to Man City and all these big teams, and then you see Man City knocked out, Chelsea knocked out, and then Celtic are still in the Champions League. What reason would you give for that?
It's amazing. It's just like the group they had as well was a very tough group, you know, and I think that game against Barcelona really make or break for them, you know, and they managed to win it and hang on. And even though it was very one-sided, you can just tell how much of attitude can win you in this game, you know. And they just never back down. It's nice for all the other kind of little teams to look and know that and it's possible kind of way.
Kevin Doyle gave us a good couple of stories about you yesterday for our Christmas special. Have you got anything about him that we can use?
It's all. I don't believe he said one bad word about
I know you should have heard what he said about you.
I don't know, no, I'd say nothing about him. He's boring anyway, he just sleeps in the room.
Is there any chance before you go you're going to sing us a song on your guitar? Because we all know what a good guitar and singer you are.
There's absolutely no chance of me singing.
Come on, just give us one song. I want one blast of Bob Marley. No Woman, No Cry.
Never live it down.
Come on, 20 seconds, special day for Christmas. Okay, it's going out to charity this, so you're going to have to do it.
The reception is going down here. It's cutting in and out.
There's no chance of getting a song?
There's no chance.
So who have you got at the weekend?
We have West Ham at home on Sunday. So I think they've lost a few in a bounce and so have we, so it's going to be interesting. So
they're all big games?
Yeah. We thought Stoke at home might be 3 points and took the pressure off us against Arsenal, but now losing 3 on the bounce against Swansea, Stoke and Arsenal, this is a very big game, you know. And we need to win.
What about the League of Ireland fans? Would you think you'll ever play League of Ireland again?
Yeah, I would never rule it out, you know. I'd like to...
Doyler gave it the big one yesterday. He said, I wouldn't be one of those players to drop down along the leagues and just try to play. And I said, there's nothing wrong with that, Doyler. But
I think I'll be the total opposite. I'll be one of them lads that are just hanging on, just standing in the middle of the pitch, just like playing through me kind of thing. But yeah, I think I will find it very hard to retire from football. And, you know, even if it's in the junior league in Tipperary, I'm still kicking the ball somewhere. So
before you go to headlines on our show tonight, is that you should be Ireland's #1. You're going to tell Trapattoni that next week. You're going to Liverpool for an extra 20 grand a week.
You're taking to this journalism very, very well.
So Shane, that's it. I don't think there's any much more questions that I can ask you or stuff I can try to get out of you. We just want to thank you for coming on the show. It's great to speak to you and we wish you all the best for the rest of the season and with Ireland.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Success going. Thanks very much.
We'll be seeing you again.
Definitely. Thank you. So that's it. We'd just like to thank Shane Long for his interview. Join us again next week when we have all the biggest names in Irish sport.